Hi, and welcome back to Bible Audio, where I read aloud and you follow along. We're almost done with Exodus. I'm going to start in Exodus 35, and because it's talking about the pieces of the tabernacle and the instruments that were used for at that time, I'm going to read all the way through. But before I do, I want to talk about our last reading, which was about the covenant, where Moses he broke the first two tablets, and then he had to go back up to Mount Sinai, and he pleaded for the Israelites not to lose God's favor or favoritism, not favoritism, presence. And God didn't pull away, but there's still consequences of that. And so that's why it was more important for Moses to stress the commandments and the covenant, the promise, because God was angry and he could have pulled away. And that really strikes a chord with me, because that is just like me, at least. And I'm wondering if, like many of you, that you mess up so bad you feel like you're gonna lose your talents, your job, your status, whatever that blessing is, your gifts. Maybe too much time has passed and you're not going to be able to do that thing that you've wanted to do your whole life. Or maybe you put yourself in the wrong situations with the wrong people, and now to get your good name back, it's taking a lot of work. You're having to pay consequences. That's exactly what happened to the Israelites. God didn't pull away, but they still had to make atonement for all of their sins. See, they got impatient with Moses up in the mount, and they made a gold calf. But what it also says is that they were lustful, they were perverse, they were in orgies, they were dancing, they were drinking, they were eating, they were doing all kinds of things. Like, they had forgotten that they were just led out of Egypt from being slaves by God, and that Moses, even though he was gone, he was at the mount with God's presence, and they had his favor. Of all the people he said he would protect them from, whenever we get into it, and I'm excitedly saying the Hittites, the Perizzites, they had his favor, and they still chose to sin. But he still, in his mercy and love, he keeps a promise. But for me, I think I had to share that the reason I'm doing this and the reason I want to read the Bible is because I lost favor. I've lost my position in life. I have blessings that haven't been practiced, used, and brought to full fruition of what I could have been capable of doing. And I'm 42 years old, and I'm no longer confident of what people think of me because of things I've done. I was lewd. I was insecure and let a boyfriend talk me into doing things that I'm not proud of. And it was all because, in the romance and in the seduction where you don't think about it, I said, yeah, I'll do that thing because we're going to be married anyway and it's going to bring us closer. Well, now that I'm out of that situation and I'm looking at my acts and I'm thinking about what I've done, I'm not proud of myself. And not just that, once you do a thing, you can't erase it. It's just like your virginity. Once it's gone, it's gone. There's no going back, and it'll forever be that moment of what played out exactly how it played out. And I used that example to say we're in a time right now where sex is the world is crazy about sexuality and relationships, and we don't praise monogamy anymore. We don't praise abstinence anymore. It's almost like, instead of talking about waiting for us until you're married to have sex, we're talking about, do you want to date boys or girls? It's like, when did we get there? And I'm not here to talk about homosexuality. I'm here to talk about sin in my life, and how once I let certain sins in, which in this case, it was the commandment of adultery. Even though I'm not married, I slept with other people. That's adultery. That's fornication. That's lustful. That's perverse. So it is a sin. I did break a commandment. many times. I still live with my boyfriend, and I ask for God's mercy to help us make it right. Maybe we'll get married, but I know I've made prayers that I will not seek another boyfriend unless they pursue me, and I'm honest with, you know, my past partners, my past just things I've done, because they're owed that honesty. And because we don't have monogamy and abstinence anymore, it's like we're asking each other, how many people have you slept with? And when I answer, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not me. I just let someone sway me in his I'm going to say romance way. Like, we all get persuaded in different things. Men get persuaded in different things. Like, they're seduced, and women get seduced, and we do things that we will forever regret. Just like that one first time. It'll always be just how it played out. And even though God sees you through it, you still have consequences to pay. My consequence is that it'll forever be what I did. It'll forever be the picture or the video or the gossip behind my back. It's real. It exists. And because of that, I have to walk around with my head down, where at one time I was very proud of my abstinence, of my loyalty to my family, my loyalty to my significant other, because I didn't cheat. And not just that, I talked about marriage. I talked about how that's what I want. I want to be married. I want to be with one person. I want to have a family. I want to have all those traditions. And I may never see that. And so I want to get into this word before I screw up anymore. I want to know what God has in store for us in eternity. Because as much as I've done wrong, he loves me even more than that. He loves you more than that. But don't let yourself get so far off the narrow road, because it's the narrow road that leads to eternity and peace. But we still have to answer for our actions. And the closer you get to God, the wider your eyes are open, and the more like honest you are with yourself. And I keep reading, I keep thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so awful for doing all these things in the past, and who am I to read this book? I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy to read his word. I'm not worthy to be a church leader. In his mercy, in time, who knows? Because he will make your crooked path straight. He will bless you in a way that you can't imagine. But you still got to go through the motions of it. You still got to heal. You still got to deal with what's been done, what's been said, what's been destroyed. And you have to rebuild. God will rebuild, restore, and heal, forgive, and give love. But you're going to have to live with it. And I hope that as I'm reading, you guys are paying attention to some of the like amazing messages in here. And because of that example right there in Exodus, and how he still didn't pull his presence away from the Israelites while they're having orgies. And I'm not saying go out and have one. Believe me, don't. Anyway, comments. Those are for comments. I'm trying not to say too much. I'm at 8 minutes. Just don't forget to take this message and really understand it, so that it'll guide you, so that you will see how much he's already done for us, that we don't have to do anything but praise and worship him, and he will guide you. If I do the right thing, if I just wake up in the morning with the good intentions and, you know, start my day and get moving and do the right things, what can go wrong? It's when I start doing things I know I shouldn't, that I get lost. And so I stay in this, and it's opening my eyes, and I want to be honest with you all. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I have family and friends that are probably going to see my channel and think I have no right to be reading anything about the Bible, because I'm a sinner. I relate a lot to the woman at the well, who God said, you have many husbands, but I will show you like eternal life. And he says, I am life, and he will forgive her sins. I'm not in the passage right now, but believe me, even if you Google it, the lady at the well with Jesus, and when he said, you have had many husbands, it, in that time, they didn't go get married 10 times. She laid with many men, and she's still not at peace. So he's saying, I am your peace. And so he is my peace. And I am very regretful of the list, you know, that goes with who I've been with. Not that they were all bad people, but just because I wanted to be proud and say I abstained from sex, and I was waiting for the right one. And instead I chose to make, in a moment of passion, bad decisions. And I also relate to a lady, the prostitute that was, you know, he also steps in and says, if you have not sinned, then you cast the first stone at her. And everybody walked away, the mob. I always feel like there's a mob of people talking about me. Because I was in the United States Navy as the shortest chief, probably. Female chief at that. You think they're not talking about me? You think that they're not saying, that girl screwed up her life for a man and did something stupid, and now she's not going to retire a Navy chief, and we don't want her in the chief's mess. All because of what I did. I know what it's like to be persecuted. And if that's you, just give it all to God. Stay in the Word, even if it's not with me reading. Okay? Stay in the Word. Because this is at 12 minutes, I'm just going to call it Intro to Exodus 35. And then the next video will be 35 to 40. I really am thankful for anybody that listens to my videos. I pray that you will pray for me. And I hope that you know I will pray for you. Every watcher or listener, that seed is planted, if it isn't already. And that you have a relationship with God. That you accept His love and His redemption. Because He wants you to let Him in. Take care and God bless you. If you have any other questions, please hit me up and we'll talk on the side. Take care. Bye.